Welcome back everyone to a fresh new video on our YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll find out the 5 best players from the 2021 NBA playoffs. Number 5, Kawhi Leonard, Los Angeles Clippers. With the LA Clippers striving to make their impression in their second round of NBA playoff series against Utah Jazz, Kawhi Leonard emerged out to be at the top of his strengths with a huge dunk in the first half. Los Angeles joined Monday night's Game 4 at Staples Center, aiming to defeat Jazz. Clippers got off to a strong start as they built their lead up to 29 points. Leonard grabbed a pass from Patrick Beverly and drove through the lane for the giving of the Clippers a 62-38 lead with 1 minute and 24 seconds before the intermission. While fans in the Staples Centers were fixed, the most significant reaction was on the faces of the shocked Utah Jazz players. Number 4, Chris Paul, Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns played in NBA Finals for the first time in 1993 after winning the host Los Angeles Clippers by a score of 130-103 in the game of 6, the Western Conference Finals at Staples Center. Chris Paul's 41 points on 16 of 24 shooting, the 8 assists, along with Devin Booker 22 points, and DeAndre Ayton 17 rebound double-double led way for the success of the Suns. Team Phoenix shot 64.4% of total shots from the field and smashed 17 of 31 three-pointers, a 16-3 run that extended the game to the third quarter and outset the fourth, provided Phoenix a delighted 105-85 lead in contrast to 27-point victory. Paul pushed Phoenix to the finals on Wednesday with an entirely skillful performance. He was seen with Michael Bridges making a beautiful pass and nailing a few early threes in the first half that witnessed Phoenix lead by 9 during the break. Paul had 10 points and 4 dimes until the interval, but he set the game away. In the second half, his efforts, including the clinching of three-pointer over Nicholas Batum. The 3 was part of a special 801 run that converted to an 89-82 edge into a 87-82 lead. Any hope that the Clippers had in the fourth quarter was destroyed by Paul, who scored another 19 points in the final appearance. He also turned out and scored 14 of the Phoenix total points during a 16-3 run that finished off the Suns and dominating 105-85 score line. Paul kept it rolling back, knocking down the threes over Morris and eventually ending with a 31-second half point. Mark J. Spears also asserted that Paul played the biggest game of all Hall of Fame career. Number 3, Joel Embiid, Philadelphia 76ers. With a limited room to utilize in a game of 3 of the NBA Eastern Conference semifinals, Joel Embiid was restricted to a 14 field goal attempt, along with 6 shots that concluded in a trip to the free throw line and an intense deduction from the 21 shots in Game 1 and 25 shots in Game 2. Embiid retained his dominance and efficiency in the Sixers' 127-111 triumph. Embiid's exposition was critical in Philadelphia's game on Friday night, but his versatility as an offensive player marched the way for the Sixers to showcase their most remarkable performance of this postseason. On 3 occasions, he whacked the Sixers' boundary players for a perfect 3-pointers. He also racked up 8 assists, but his most since his match with the Golden State Warriors in April. As a physique on the court, Embiid flourished the screens and rubbed the fuels of the Sixers' fierce attack. All night long, the Hawks found themselves using alternative from behind Embiid. As a conclusion, the Atlanta defense wasted much of the time hustling around the courts. Particularly Embiid gave his everything with a meniscus gash in his right knee, an injury which underwent Game 4 of Philadelphia first round progression against Team Washington. Currently, he is attaining a steady medication on the knee at a postseason. According to ESPN stats and information research, the Sixers starting lineup has placed an eye-popping net rating of 39 per 100 titles, better than any other. Exterior to that unit, Philadelphia has battled a minus of 1.9 in 231 minutes in a game of 3. The Sixers substituted shined as a backup shooting defense player. Furkan Korkmaz dripped a trio of 3-pointers. 2 of them were results of amazing kickouts from Embiid. Korkmaz completed the match with a 14 in 27 minutes and a game-high plus 24. This is a pleasant improvement for the Sixers as their depth hasn't been a dominant outfit for the Sixers in the last few seasons. Their bench shooting has been volatile, and the defense has witnessed a measurable fall-off from the starting unit's strong half-court and changing efforts. The flow has been sticky. The outcome has added pressure on Embiid, which has turned out to be good for the team. The wider the Sixers progress into the summer, the more important credible presentation from the team will lead to, according Danny Green's risky prediction, the Sixers will have to tap to the second unit for an alternative option. An NBA dominated by the high pick and roll and three-pointers, the team often depends on the league's most powerful player and a unicorn of a 6-foot 10-point guard who doesn't shoot. Embiid said that they have come a long way, which is very decent, but they will have a long way to go as Sixers are still working on their strengths and refreshing their positions. The supporting staff is a mixture of skilled and imperfect players and are away from being comprehensive. Number 2, Kevin Durant, Brooklyn Nets. Durant gave some unforgettable moments and impressive numbers in 2021 NBA playoffs. Durant's deadly points of the season came on a 23-foot when he scored points through a turnaround jumper with 1 point remaining. Durant's toes touched the ground, down a few inches further back after the turn. Hence would have been a series-clinching three-pointer. It gave Durant 48 points, the most ever slashed in the game of 7. Kevin got into a fiddle all 53 minutes, running into the gaps in the 2 of the final 3 games. In the series, it was Durant's third 40-point game of the season's playoff. There were only 3 players in Brooklyn Nets history who did the same thing before Durant. He set a team record of 411 points in just 12 playoff games. His 8 30-point playoff games were also previous records for Brooklyn Nets. He dispatched 5 doubles in a total of 7 games against Bucks, with his 49 points and 17 rebounds, 10 assists, and triple-double in Game 5, a record-setting achievement in NBA history. Brooklyn Nets head coach Steve Nash said that he does not know what Durant can't do in the basketball court. It's just out of the world. Durant started the playoffs with 32 points and 12 assists against the Celtics, when Boston finished Game 3 on a victory note to cut Brooklyn's lead in a series of 2-1. Durant came back with 42 points and helped Brooklyn in a winning game of 4, putting the Nets closer to Game 5. As Harden, Irving were unavailable, Durant carried an even bigger responsibility, with Nash in changing positions initiating offense more towards his hands as Game 5 went on. In the middle part of the series, Durant scored 4 straight points. And in the Milwaukee series independently, Durant averaged 35.4 points, 10.6 rebounds, and 5.4 assists per game. He ended up the playoffs by averaging 34.3 points and shooting 51.4% all around, and 40.2 points from the 3-point range, averaging 9.3 rebounds, 4.4 assists, 1.6 blocks, and a whopping 1.5 steals. And finally, number 1, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Milwaukee Bucks. The Greek Freak produced an unforgettable performance in any closeout game by scoring 50 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 blocks to carry the Bucks into their first NBA title since 1971 with a 105-98 win over the Phoenix Suns. In his first appearance in the finals, Giannis showed his leading potential by averaging 35 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists per game. Giannis became the youngest player to take the Finals MVP award after Kawhi Leonard. The Greek Freak extended his contract with Milwaukee by signing a 5-year deal in December. On Tuesday night, Giannis' loyalty to the team that recruited him paid off, as he headed back to the Bucks for their first NBA title in 50 years. Antetokounmpo amassed applause from Bill Russell and other NBA legends on social media. Giannis set an excellent performance, reporting 50 points, 14 rebounds, while completing an eye-popping 17 of 19 from free throw lines. He also became the 7th player to have a 50-point game in NBA Finals history. Giannis became the first NBA player in history to average 30 points, along with earning NBA Finals MVP. He also became the second player after Michael Jordan to amass 20 points in the finals quarter after Michael Jordan accomplished this achievement in 1993. Antetokounmpo also became the first player in NBA's record to average 30 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 50% shooting in playoffs. Entering the elite company of NBA legends, he became one of 2 powers forward along with Tim Duncan to receive numerous MVP awards. Antetokounmpo also joined Michael Jordan in the list, winning multiple MVPs, NBA Defensive Player of the Year award. This will conclude today's video. We will see you soon in our next video. Until then, take care, goodbye, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.